All right. It's that time of the quarter, you guys. We're going to do it. We're going to sit here and wait for the results to roll in because that's a thing that they do sometimes. And when I say sometimes, I mean today. Let's check out this. Ah, the magic continues. The results have not been released, but they will be. And when they are, we'll be here. I suppose one of the first things we could talk about is, can you hear me? How are we doing? How is everybody? And where are you tuning in from? Where are you guys? That's what I'd like to know. Some potential topics for discussion today while we wait. I mean, obviously, we can look at what everyone thinks it's going to be. So here we go. Analyst consensus 386,086. That strikes me as high. Gary Black uniquely is not just using Troy's numbers. In the past, he has. One quarter, Troy was the second least accurate, but the least accurate was Gary, who was using Troy's 1 week old number, which was unfortunate. Um, so, hey, man, it happens. I have been the least accurate, I think, once, which is, uncomfortable, but it happens. And then we've got but most quarters I do pretty good. I don't track it the way I used to. It used to be something that was pretty critical to Tesla's success. And these days, well, Tesla's pretty mature, you know, um, even if the CEO isn't. The joke would have worked better if I wasn't in the middle of a cough, but what are you going to do? So uh, we've got James up at 365, 420. Nice. Grok at 360. Hey, is Grok going to win it this time? That would be wild. It's possible. Peggy at 359. Troy at 356. Gabriel, I don't know who that is, at 348. Myself and James at James Cat at and by the way, I think there must be a rivalry between the cat and Loki because when we say James, we really mean Loki. We know who's running the operation. Come on, come on. So yeah, well, Peggy says Wall Street is estimating this quarter way too high, in my opinion, but everyone is predicting a miss, meaning it will likely be a beat. Maybe that would be, I would love to be pathetically, painfully too low. I will say that I also, for production, said 369, 422. And why 422? Brian, you're so close to 420. Just drop it at 420. I did. But then I remembered my son had bought one. So that was 421. And someone in the chat yesterday on the live show also bought one. It's 422. We're clearly off by two. How is everybody doing? Let's find out. Zurich. Oh, great. Pennsylvania. Texas, just south of Dallas. Can hear you perfect. Gray, I am so sorry. Ghana, really? I still remember when Ross was 100,000 over. Yes, but to be fair to Ross, he also predicted that his fund would not be negative lifetime. So, hey, how do you lose money coming out of COVID shutdown? That is crazy. The idea that you would have a buyer's market like that and still just whiff so bad. Good morning, DRK. Good to see you. Matt's here, of course. Hello, David Britt. By far the most entertaining person in the Tesla community. I did spend 20 years trying to be a successful comedian. I was a comedy writer. I did not do stand up. I never lived in a place where stand up was something that you could easily do, and having small kids made adventures, late night adventures, challenging. So unfortunately, that's something I've never done, but at least not in any formal setting. I've done some private sets, but as the funniest person in a non-funny community, it's an easier task. It's a lot more doable. I've never done a morning stream before 9 a.m. Oh, it's the worst. I apologize. It is tough. Uh, it's not much fun. Oh, Matt's been up all night. Tough. I'm sorry. I usually don't do that. The only time I do is when I've got something early in the morning and I can't sleep. Usually there's a limit to how long I'll lay in bed without sleeping. It's about 3 hours. It's a good little rest, but not much sleep. Hit the like, pretty please. Yeah, let's do that. Get those likes up. Melbourne, nice. Just bought a Model Y. Congrats. But I'm going to have to obviously say no, you didn't, because I've been assured by the smoothest brains in the world that no one is buying Tesla anymore. The people who go out on Saturdays to protest the delivery center assure us that all those people going in are definitely persuaded not to buy one by their little signs, even as cars roll past them all day with happy buyers driving away in their new toys. Come on. So yeah, you and I don't exist is what I hear on that. Churning and burning. Tesla buys 100,000 for its robotaxi service sales at 460K. Um, Tesla will at some point have meaningful deliveries internally, uh, but not this quarter. Costa Rica, how cool is that? Beat as in Q1 2025 or Q2 2024. Also, at what number are we looking bullish today? 370? I think I honestly I don't know. I never know how the market's going to react. Sometimes we have very bad news and the stock goes up, and sometimes we have very good news and it doesn't. Here's what the stock's doing so far. It's up in the pre-market. What? Yeah, it's up in the pre-market. So some I don't know. I would have expected it to be sliding all morning, but it's just how it goes. Let's see what we got here. I haven't seen a protest in weeks. I haven't seen the protests, but to be fair, I never paid attention to them. Uh, the ex hippies got bored, and the anarchists discovered that the government does, in fact, exist. Is anybody watching? If anybody's watching this on X, leave a comment so I can see you, and I'll get your post up. This goes out on X and YouTube. I don't promote X because X has a real problem with scams and frauds and generally poor integrity. So until they address that, I just can't push people over there. And it doesn't pay. It really doesn't pay. Where a video on YouTube that gets 10,000 views might make, $50 or $60. Here it would make, here on X, it would make 8 cents, 9 cents. So how long till numbers come out? Within the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes is generally when we expect to see it, though it could be as long as an hour. It's before the market opens, which is in 66 minutes. So within the next 66 minutes, surely. They're under no obligation to release it on the second. They just always do. All right, Stephen Taylor, why do you think Tesla doesn't invest in making solar panels other than the tiles in the US? It's a commodity business. It's a low margin um, business, and it's very expensive to get into. The equipment that you use to make solar panels is comparable in complexity to the ones that make silicon chips. So it's tough. It's tough. Uh, it's a it's a very high precision piece of equipment with low margin. Now, you would think that somebody would say, gosh, 100% tariffs on imports. That means as long as we're within double the price, we're actually a cheaper solution. But getting within double the price is difficult. Otherwise, someone would have done it. And the tariff landscape changes constantly. If at some point that 100% tariff goes away, then it becomes complicated. Jeff says on X, $5 is a lot for a subscription. Yes, that's what I charge on X. Uh, and it is a lot. But while X loves to say that they don't take any of the money on the subscriptions that come in, they take about half. It is the platform with the deepest cut Uh, so it's unfortunate. Um, I do have a $1 option on Patreon, um, but it takes a whole lot of $1 to add up, unfortunately. Thank you for letting me know that this is in fact going out well on X. Latest rumors on more affordable models. I got no rumors. I've been saying for a couple months that there's a problem since we haven't seen them. Normally you'd see them in testing. Oof, pre-markets getting spicy. Normally you would expect to see them out testing. You would expect to see leaks or rumors, and we've seen nothing. So yeah, there's the spicy pre-market. Dippity dippity do down to 301.57 from a pre-market high of 305. Exciting. Yeah, so latest rumors on the affordable market. Why do you, yeah, there we go. We're pretty much caught up. Got a photo of coffee, an emoji of one of those sticky hands, I assume, from the 80s that would kid in my class thought it'd be funny while I'm sitting there writing to come up behind me and use one of those sticky hands, and it slapped the paper, and the comedic timing was beautiful. It goes slap, zoop, and the paper's just gone. And as much as I didn't want to, I couldn't help it. That was a very funny joke, and we all had a good laugh. Tesla did 4,800 Model Y in June, down 5% from May. Uh, where? I mean, they did more than that in China alone. 4,800. They did more than 4,800 Model Ys in China last week. So I don't know where that number is coming from. Maybe you can explain it. Ready for the wild ride, HEC? Are we all ready for the wild ride? Ooh, I know. We don't talk about politics, but you're going to talk about Musk and the third party threat at 2 today, II today. It's relevant and it affects the total addressable market. Oh, the third party threat. Elon wants to create a third political party. That would be a big distraction. Third parties are really good at splitting the vote. So for someone, that will be a good thing. And for someone else, it will be a bad thing. If it splits votes from one side, it will hurt the other side. So depending which side that party leans toward, the party that it aligns more closely with is likely to lose the next election. So it is, yeah, it's tough. And I don't, I don't know if he realizes that. I know the idea is that it would be a big 80% middle party, but third parties have never achieved that before. And it's been in the works. People have been trying it for ever. Uh, yeah. So there would need to be a monumental political shift that I don't think Elon's party would be capable of achieving, because a lot of the things that are already taking place within the administration are things that he supports. I don't know what a third direction would look like that would pull insignificant numbers from both parties. Um, the idea, well, everyone likes fiscal responsibility. Yes, but everyone disagrees with what it is. So that's tricky. Uh-huh. Are we ready for the wild ride? Nobody wants a Tesla anymore here in Europe. Well, you missed my live stream yesterday because it would surprise you to know that Spain is in fact part of Europe and has had record sales. Norway is part of Europe and has had record sales. There are countries like Germany where sales are definitely, unquestionably down, where the brand damage is very real. They have, uh, yeah, but nobody is. I understand you're being hyperbolic, but that is simply wrong. Keep them coming from Perth. Thank you. I'd never go back on X. It's not always great. What's weird is if you log in between like 3 and 4 a.m., you get shown a lot of stuff that is not for you. A lot of crazy people stuff from accounts you don't follow, accounts from which your followers don't follow. That is designed to be divisive and hateful, and it's very weird. And what I'll do is I'll block 10, 20 of these accounts that have a million followers going around spreading angry lies. And if I block 10 accounts, I'm just out for the day. I will not come back for the rest of the day. It's a crazy sight, man. Let's see. Do you think he'll do it? Uh, I think he will, and clearly both are being stupid and lazy. I don't know. He's got a lot on his plate, but that's never stopped him from taking on one more thing before, apart from actually doing the PR. He got rid of PR because just tweet at me. He said, "Yeah, that works. That works great." I have a contact at Tesla who I tried to use to get a tour of Giga Nevada, and he uh, waited until too late to try and set it up, and then it couldn't happen. And I said, "I get you're busy. Who should I be talking to so I could be on the press list?" And he said, "Well, have you tried emailing the press department, like the official one? Here's press at gmail dot or at gmail at tesla.com." I was like, "Really?" Sure. So I said, "Yeah, I'll send it again." And I sent it again. And of course, it disappears into the void because there ain't nobody on the other end of that handle. So that's pretty tight. Uh, so yeah, my uh, defeat streak remains undefeated when it comes to Tesla events and tours and locations. It's pretty disappointing. It's tough to understand the motivation. We can pop back over here and hit refresh to see that the magic continues. We're still at just Q1. All right. uh-huh. Here for the jokes. Not really that much bothered by the production and delivery numbers. Yeah, me too. Yeah, a few years down the road, the robotaxi road, nobody will remember a couple of underperforming quarters anyway. I asked somebody at the Muskegon event, "What year did the Wright brothers fly?" And they're like, 1920? I go, "No, it was 1909. But what if it was 1920? If the impossible was achieved in 1920 instead of 1909, uh, famously, the New York Times said, "Man will not fly under his own power for 1 million to 10 million years of continuous effort." And of course, 69 days later, they took to the sky. Uh-huh. Will you be refreshing the Tesla website on repeat? Yes. Yes. But of course, I rely on you guys also doing that because uh, somebody will let us know. Jokes are always available and welcome. Yes, we have a special going today. I mean, I'm not only waiting for the new model, I'm still waiting for a candy company and the biggest contiguous building in Nevada shaped as a diamond. So, yeah, I don't think it is. I don't think Giga Nevada is the biggest in the state. I can't imagine how. It's huge, but a lot of huge buildings exist. They are able to get more production out of that small building than they originally expected to get from the full size building. So that's encouraging. But they did say they were going to expand it for Semi and 4680, and clearly that's not happened. Semi is being put in next door. They know what they're doing sometimes. Uh-huh. This and neighboring channels. uh, yeah, DRK is a very active moderator, and we appreciate that. Ahoy, hoy! I see, Gary, you also know proper telephone etiquette. Sorry for Australia sales. I haven't seen them. Are they? I thought they were doing all right. Yeah. I remember Perot. I was a fan. Perot, the first vote I cast for president because I liked his no nonsense approach. I thought he was on the right track. But back then, a third party could get on TV. Now they've made the rule such that a third party candidate, Bernie, had as much support as Perot in the primary phase, I believe, and still did not get permission to attend uh, debates, which I thought was an interesting shift. While you're in Mexico, did you get to use the subway system? So I've been in the subway system. I have not used the subway system. It is affordable and effective, but I haven't used it. I've used the buses before, but not the subways. But I've gone down there a number of times for to see it. And by a number of times, I think I mean two. And I've also used it to pass busy streets. Good perspective. That's why I ask you. A third party will allow those in that party to vote outside the winning party's lines, making many votes better for the country. Well, it splits the vote. It becomes a spoiler party, one direction or the other. Maybe that's good for the country. Maybe that's good for the party you like. Somebody will be bitter and angry. Let's see. I remember Perot. It's a waste of time. Only two parties in America. Unfortunately, I'll tell you the party system I'd like to see: the no party system, where where candidates don't fall in line, but are free to represent their constituents most accurately, even if that means we disagree on one point. You know, uh, Montana used to have Democrats who, by many accounts, would be considered Republicans in other states. This is a culture in the US where people don't like a new party. I don't think it's that they don't like one. I think it's that new ones have never succeeded, and it's resulted in people feeling like their vote was thrown away, unfortunately. But, ranked choice could fix it. A bunch of things could address it. Term limits. Boy, could we get term limits? No, because term limits would need to be voted on by the people that would lose the most. And those are not altruistic people. Not many go into politics for noble purposes. Some, of course, but politics seems to reward the biggest psychos. This is, let's see, England has its own unique problems, but several political parties there are interesting to me. A lot of the European Parliament systems seem to work quite well with their coalitions rather than just having two parties. Mm, You mean no to use a part of acting as a regular crash? What? Not sure. Oh, what? I don't I don't understand. Sorry. The USA is very immature and reactive, and I was born here, but I have immigrant parents, so maybe that helps. A lot of the anti-immigrant rhetoric seems pretty weird to me because we're all either colonists or immigrants, right? Colonizers or immigrants. So, and my grandparents were not born in this country, and a lot of people's weren't. And if you look at the makeup of the Fortune 500, if you were to remove all of the immigrants and children of immigrants, our Fortune 500 kind of disappears. It becomes real anemic real fast. So I don't know. We're not being very friendly to immigrants at the moment. I'm concerned that in the next generation, our Fortune 500 will not look very exciting because we are driving out the innovators. The US is a terrible place. Uh, you know, my neighborhood's all right. You know where is actually a really good place to live in the world? Anywhere if you're in the right neighborhood. Anywhere if you have the money. And you know where's a terrible place to live? Everywhere if you don't have the money. Any read on the latest hissy fit with the schoolyard bullies? No, it's just the same stuff, different day. Georgia. Hello, violets are blue. I was still a kid. Ross Perot reading the wiki. So I'm 51. So in 92, I was able to vote for Ross Perot the first time. I was very idealistic. Who's going to click the 69th thumbs up? Yeah, probably blew past that, didn't we? Did we? What are we at? I'm here for the jokes and the cleavage. I have no cleavage today. I'm wearing one of my favorite shirts. It's my Gotta make it bigger, huh? It is my it's my Alan shirt. Alan in space. Nobody can hear you in space. It's not a knockoff. I had it special made from a copy of someone else's knockoff that I found hilarious. Alan in space. No one can hear you in space. Good morning to Digital Blade. What time zone are you in, Digital Blade? Is this brutal for you? Because it's 5:41 a.m. here. I'm gonna just hit refresh over here real quick. No numbers. The magic continues. Who's gonna click? Yeah. All right. I don't want to see Brian's cleavage. Fair. Fair. The robotaxi will never work. It already does. Fact check false on that. I've been getting the laziest trolls lately. Just the worst stuff. Like, I mean, their brains are so smooth. It's like it's got to be like a ball bearing just rolling around inside that thick skull. I don't know where these people come from. Trolling used to be an art form. Now it's just lazy. And I don't know. Maybe they're using ChatGPT to do their trolling, but it's just not good anymore. It used to be something that was just barely believable. And now it's not. Now it's, well, I'm a big Tesla shareholder, but, and then proceeds to say 9 consecutive of the dumbest claims ever made. I'm expecting bad deliveries and a dip to 285, then a fast rebound. That's an interesting one. Maybe. Francis is saying 300. Let's see here. They could put concrete barriers up to keep cars out of that area. What? I'm expecting bad deliveries and a dip to 285, fast rebound. I don't know if when do you think Cybercab will start production? Q1? As soon as the remote operator ratio becomes correct. What is that ratio? Is it 3-1? Is it 10-1? Don't know. Let's see. I don't know what all this is about. There is no Cybercab. What? There is no Cybercab. So I don't. So that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like the sky is green, the earth is an inverted bowl. I don't know what to tell you, bro. It's just lazy. You got to do better. Yeah. Why don't you just tell people their hair is on fire while they're throwing snowballs? It just makes no sense. I just voted for Ron Paul, Rand Paul, and Gary Johnson, and then just stopped voting because it doesn't matter. I can understand that you would feel that way if you had voted for those 3 people. Your vote in those cases didn't matter. I hope you still vote down ballot, though. When do deliveries release? I thought it was tonight. No, typically before the market opens on the 2nd day of the month following the close of the quarter. I wish we would make a no party system work, but we're too stuck in our ways. Yeah, it'd be cool. For every politician to be free to vote their conscience instead of having some party leader whip them to get their votes. Yeah. I want to see the new technocrats. Elon's grandpa was a technocrat. Would it matter? I don't know. Who would be in that system? Who would be in it? Elon wouldn't permit anyone who votes for the big, beautiful bill to be in it. So right there, you're out of politicians. It would need to be all newcomers. I don't know. Replace the parties with AI, problem solved. Yes, it would solve the problem. Might create a whole new problem, a different one that's more exciting. But an algorithm could definitely make better decisions. You would just input the desired outcome. The desired outcome is more sustainability. Great. It'll make the laws according, whatever the objectives are. Then you just have to agree on the objectives. I see a lot of that in politics. A politician gets up there and says, "We have a problem with this," and everyone goes, "Yeah," but then they don't say what they're going to do to fix it. And that's my question is, I'm gonna make, I'm gonna put a pony in every little girl's backyard. And I say, how? They go, don't you worry about that. Let me worry about that. No, no, but for real though, how? They make these pie in the sky claims. And if you're not asking your politician how on all of their crazy claims and then looking at the how to determine if it's even possible, then you are purchasing sound bites rather than voting. And I'm not saying you do that. Not you, dear viewers. You're analytical. You're here. But the majority does that. And I've seen some real crazy. Well, I voted for this person because I thought I was going to get this. Really? You really thought that? That's weird. But hey, what are you going to do? And speaking of replacing politicians with AI, I know you mean the concept of politicians, but there's some individual politicians I'd like to just replace with a Raspberry Pi. Just, I guarantee you, they are not the smartest. Some of these, you've seen members of Congress who are just not smart. Okay. Uh, let's see. All right. Some people were here first. Yep. Some people, I mean, yes, that's true. Uh, some new people um, accomplish more than people who were here first, and some don't. Let's see. Yeah, with parties, you'll never have a real democratic system. Yeah, because they want a separate pocket of power that they don't deserve. That's not, yeah. Ryan, of course, would rather have a country run by spiders. Why? I mean, it's just, food. We're not producing enough of our own children to prosper. We need a decent amount of beneficial immigration. Um, who gets to decide what's beneficial? You know, it's uh, the people who are against immigration, the people who most loudly scream, well, I only support legal immigration, are not standing up for the people who are legal, who are losing their legal status, who are being deported without hearings. Uh, so if those people are not going to be honest, we need to just stop them because we've uh, we are no longer a destination for immigrants. The smart ones are not going to come. They know better. They've seen what we're doing, and this is going to cause us 100-year problem in growth and innovation. So we need to stop being monsters, is what's going on. You're listening in a vacuum, you're almost dead or dead. Don't listen in a vacuum. Guys, if you're in a vacuum, by all means, add some air pressure for crying out loud. Let's see. Okay. Paralyzed quadriplegic at 18, retired at 46. Yep, America sucks. I'm not sure what all that means, but that does sound terrible. I'm in China, 8:42 p.m. Uh, I had someone share with me his concerns that when I went to China, I was using a VPN. That's illegal. You could end up in jail. I go, everybody uses one. They have to. So, yeah, but it's illegal. I wouldn't do it. So, yeah, but it's that or just not go to China. Shenyang, China. Uh-huh. Waterhead trolls. That's right. What do you think of the newly launched U7? So described as equivalent to an all-electric Ferrari with actually higher performance, better tech, more utility. The SU7 was real fantastic. The U7 promises to be better. I haven't watched the reviews. I don't need to watch the reviews to know it's a damn good car. And if there's any problems with it, they're, low VIN number problems. The U7 is proof of the fact that Tesla and all companies, even other Chinese companies, may be in trouble. It's worth noting the Xiaomi is probably being sold below cost, but not much below cost. And well, they're just doing that to grow market share. Yes, but they are growing market share. And just like GM and Ford, who are also selling cars at a loss, Xiaomi has other lines of business to subsidize the losses on their automotive. Well, they can't do it forever. No, they do it while scaling. Tesla only briefly sold cars below cost, um, but they still lost money overall. Took them years, years. Oh, they'll never make it. Yeah, maybe. No, but they did. The trolls are still on X for a tenth of the price. Uh, I'm more concerned about the real cost. The price is one issue, but the cost to build it is the real issue. So you look at Rivian, they've got the best $130,000 truck you can buy for $80,000. That's going to kill them. They need to right that ship financially because they are $22 billion in the red. And at some point, the bill comes due. How are you going to make any money? You have to be profitable on a per unit basis, and tons of manufacturers are not. How many riders are the robo-taxis up to in Austin? Yeah, don't know. I don't know. And unfortunately, I really tried to get to it. I really tried to get an invitation. I refused to go without an invitation. I've never not been burnt trying to be a plus one. I've 100% of the time been burnt. I don't go anymore. We Robot was the first event I didn't just show up at hopeful that I would get in. And thank God I didn't, because I wouldn't have gotten in. And that would have broken me. I was pretty broken anyway, but so no, I wasn't going to leave my family in Michigan and fly down to Texas hoping to get into a robotaxi. I was prepared to, if I got a ticket, I would have flown down, or we would have driven through the night 23 hours to get there. But I'm not doing it without a plus one. By the time it was made clear that plus ones were real and going to be in sufficient supply, it was too late. Because you could still go. No, you have to be there day one, because all the coverage we've seen is from day one. People are still covering it every day. Tons of videos every day. Don't see any after day one. So all I needed with that was the information. So that now we know plus ones are available, or invites are available. So that plus a time machine, and I could be there. So I don't know. I don't know what Robotaxi is doing. Nobody does. It's all public. It's all there. No one's watching. Did numbers come out? It's dipping. Let's find out. I do not see numbers. Do you? Does anyone see numbers? Let's take a look at the market. Ooh, yeah, it is dipping. It is dipping. How about that? Let's share this again. Wouldn't mind if we tried it in a small state from the local council to the federal level as a worthy experiment. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. I'm a gigantic Tesla shareholder. I wish. Don't say you wish. You are. Between you and Elon, you own like 13% of the company, right? Ah, glass half full. It's not half full. Mars is flat. See, if you really wanted to be a flat earther, but not seem like a total reject of society, you could just say the moon is flat. Look at it. We always see the same side. That would be at least make some sense. It'd be so much easier to pretend that that satellites and space capsules have not gone around to the other side of the moon. All that's fake. That's easy. That's only like 30 things you'd have to fake. Flat Earth. Ugh. Ugh. Can you tell us more about Randy Kirk? I mean, he's an open book. You can go find out. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you want to know. Sure, ask me something. If I know, I'll tell you. No models in the first half of the year. Yeah, I'm disappointed. Obviously, I would have liked for them to have been more forthcoming with that. Um, it was clear to you guys there was a delay coming. Why didn't you tell us? But I don't know. Technically, there is no RoboCab, the yellow two-door. or the gold one. So I think that is what he's referring to. Yeah, but the first time he said robotaxi. The second time he said cybercab. He said first he said there is no robotaxi, which there is, and the second time he said cybercab will never work, which we don't have proof that it works, but a analysis of the available information says of course it will. Why would it not work? It has all the pieces it needs. DRK, I appreciate you being charitable, but that I believe is misplaced faith. I think the cybercab production is contingent on a gigacasting machine that can make 10 at once. No, no, I don't think it is. It would be much cheaper and more efficient and more reliable to have 10 small machines than one, $300 million to probably $100 million machine. Uh, the scale, the cost increases. The cost increase is not linear as you increase the size of a casting. So a casting that could handle 10 pieces versus 10 that could handle one, the 10 that could handle one would always be cheaper. What kind of new models could they release? I mean, smaller versions of the 3 and Y. I mean, two doors. Why not make a two-door Model 3? Because it would compete with the Roadster that doesn't exist? Maybe. One new cybercab every 5 seconds. Yeah. Uh-huh. And of course, it jumps. Ooh, why don't I just start at the bottom? Do you think people buying FSD are going to get FSD unsupervised? Not this year. I don't think until the number of supervisors needed for robotaxi drops to approximately 0, where they're not actually doing anything except responding if you press the emergency stop button. Then I think we will get unsupervised. Oh, how dare you? All Teslas are spiders, 8 eyes. Will Tesla beat? Depends on your definition of beat, but yes. Do you think we'll see the Model Q coming later today? I don't think so. I wonder, I mean, if the news is really bad, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it, though. We'll get catastrophic numbers. All right. I'm getting a note that the numbers are oot. Let's see if that's true. I'm not seeing them. Do you guys see them? Oh, well, when it is confirmed that they are there, please tell me. Anyone having lag issues, or is it just me? Oh yeah. Well, there is a small delay, so maybe. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Beach Crow. Let's see. Burning the candle. The moon is a hologram. See, that would make more. You believe in the moon? See, that's what you got to do is when you encounter someone who's off the deep end, you say, yeah, yeah. You got to compound the conspiracy theories. It's pretty boring footage, really. Plenty of Waymo videos online. No one cares. Once you've seen it, one video, you get it. I agree. That's what I'm seeing is this isn't an exciting product. It's not meant to be. It's meant to be boring. Please, I want my robotaxi to be boring. So, down at the bottom here, what legislation kicks in September in Texas? They've got new rules proposed that should take effect in September for autonomous vehicles that would include things like there needs to be an indication to law enforcement that the vehicle is autonomously driven so that if they see you texting or sleeping, they don't freak out, pull you over and ticket you. And there's some other regulations as well, but I don't remember them. That's the only one that would require some kind of difference. Do you know if Randy has ever revised his price target of 480 for Tesla by close of day on July 7th? No, I don't know. But Randy's price targets, I had him on last week. We discussed price targets. And I opened the video by warning viewers that he may be off his rocker, but he's definitely off his meds because Randy is very optimistic with what will happen with the stock. Famously optimistic. Um, I'm curious if that commenter was telling a big fat fib that the numbers were out. Mischief, were you lying? Because it's about expected 350K, because I don't think that number is specific enough, and it doesn't appear the numbers are out. Were you being a big fibber? Tesla truth as well. The stock market and tech stocks are now at record highs and have recovered over 4 years. Tesla has failed to grow its stock price. Isn't that an objective company failure? No. I mean, why? Uh, the PE ratio is already, if anything, too high. If anything, Tesla has failed to grow their business. A lot of Tesla bulls were expecting Tesla would be well on their way to 20 million. The last video I made referencing 20 million was probably 2 years ago, year and a half, 2 years ago, saying there is still a path to 20 million, but it is getting extremely narrow and the odds are dropping by the month. And of course, then Gig of Mexico was canceled. And at that point, it's like, well, it's over. It's over. So, well, they could make 20 million taxis. No, that's the wrong number. That's the wrong number. That's an unsustainably high number. You don't need that many. So that's how that goes. There we go. Press release. How'd we do? Yeah. Deliveries 373, 728. Production 396, 835. Well, look at you go. Look at you go. That's fantastic. What do we say? What are we saying here? Deliveries is the one that counts, 373. And Gary Black was the closest. Holy smoke, a rhubobs. Gary Bear. Wow, that's fantastic. What was my, so that's production? No, that's deliveries. Production 396. What did I say? I said 369, 422. Oof, that's a big miss for Brian. In the direction that to make me happy. Look at that, guys. What good news. Let's just make it nice and big so anyone popping in can see this. There we go. That's nice. Good news, everybody. Good news. And we mooning. Fun fact, Randy Kirk sold his stock yesterday. All of it. I think he said all of it. He's posted it on X because he's going to buy back in. He's going to buy the dip, the quarterly dip. Randy, what have you done? What have you done? You fool. So it's a risk. If that's true. If that's true. Good job, Gary Black. You got lucky. Deliveries 384, 122. What? What do you mean 384, 122? What are you talking about? So I'm looking. Oh, I see total. Oh, right. So 410. Production was 410. Deliveries 384. Right. Thank you for the correction. 384. Well, let's jump back over here. 384. See if anybody. Analyst consensus. Damn near dead on the money. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. Analyst consensus. Close. Very close. The kind of close that, boy, you'd all like to be. Yeah. Look at you go. Hey, where's all the folks up in the chat who were here just a bit ago saying it's over? Big disappointment. What you got now? What do I got now? I don't know. I'm gonna dance a little jig on on your short position, I guess, if that's the thing you have. Can't just call everyone who disagrees with you a short. I just hopped on. What happened? 7% up. What happened is the numbers came out and they were quite strong. Total deliveries of 384, 122, compared to Wall Street consensus of 386. You can call that a miss. And I guarantee you there will be headlines saying miss, big miss of, well, I mean, sure, it's only off by 0.5% of this, but no, it's a big miss because this analysts, this one guy had a number of 413, and they missed so bad by that. Congrats to all the analysts. Mhm. Analists, sorry, analysts. My reading comprehension is not good. Uh, Up 20%. You guys, what's going on? What's going on? Hmm, crazy. What are the odds? Yeah. This is why I don't gamble. Because when Randy said that he had sold his shares so he could buy them back in cheaper, I said that's probably the safe bet. We're probably going to have a big miss, and it's probably going to dip and then recover. And he said, "Yeah, that's my plan." Tesla does what most expect. RIP to those who sold. Yeah, Tesla is a more complex company than the analysts think. Gap predictions? I don't generally do those. I think there's too many moving pieces. Other models, half of Q2 last year, is Cybertruck sustainable as an ongoing model? Yeah, they're not losing money on it. They're just not selling as many as they wanted to sell. So that's unfortunate. Nothing wrong with options. I've been in Tesla for over 10 years now. Just hold on and ignore the BS. Imagine being short on Tesla. I can imagine. Hey, people have become millionaires shorting Tesla. It's just they had to start as billionaires, but still, I mean, they are now millionaires. Losing the gain already. I mean, stocks go up, stocks go down. You can't explain that. It's like the tide, Bill. So sorry for all that sold. Yeah, guarantee the stock price will do exactly the opposite of what I think it will do. David, you and I share a superpower. Uh, just guys, just follow me around and overhear my short-term stock predictions and do the opposite. You will do so well. But I think it doesn't work if you ask me directly, because then I would be trying. I mean, I'd be trying to fail, and it wouldn't work. Jobs came in low this morning. Mm, Is that jobs growth? What's the? I don't know which jobs number it is. Number go up. That is correct, Randy. Broken heart. Yeah, up 16, 17 in the pre. To become a millionaire from Tesla, you have to be billionaire first. Yeah, it's easy. It's so easy, you guys. Yeah. hmm So, I mean, I don't really see a reason to scroll back up because paid fudsters. Here's the thing: is I generally am against that claim, but you have to consider how many industries are upended, disrupted by Elon's companies. And really, it's all of them except for pharmaceutical and banking so far. Pharmaceutical is, we've seen no indication that's coming, but banking, X is coming. The banks aren't scared of X yet, just like they weren't scared of PayPal when they should have been. But all the other industries, and it's not just industries, fuel, uh, all kinds of energy, aerospace, automotive, transportation, labor. These are big, big industries. And it's not just the industries, it's the unions behind all of them, it's the government, it's the whole countries. Russia was the world's largest private space, aerospace launch provider. And now they are not. That industry has been destroyed by SpaceX. You want to put up a satellite, you don't call the Russians anymore. They cost too much, and they're reliable, very reliable. SpaceX is more reliable. So, the numbers are out. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They look like this: 384, 122. Never been so happy to be wrong. Very good. With production of 410. Fantastic. Does this mean we can beat last year? Oh, it's still an uphill battle. I mean, anything is possible. I'd like to brand damage. Well, there is brand damage. This number would be higher if we had stronger sales in Germany. We could have sold more units in Germany. So The fact that we are still increasing days of inventory, which is in part good because we did get too low with the Model Y changeover, means we could have moved more units. Uh, how much do we need to beat last year? What was last year? 1.8. So we are nowhere close to on pace. We are not even on pace to hit 1.6. So we are way behind. Um, and Cybertruck sales are not increasing and will not increase until the price gets more reasonable. If the price can get more reasonable, a lot of the price reductions, a lot of the cost reductions in Cybertruck never materialized. The exoskeleton, it does not have an exoskeleton. That is not a load bearing structure on the outside. It's thick metal that's just glued on. Uh-huh. Tesla's dead. Not. See, Mark did not joke. What is not joke? 3 minutes ago, Tesla sales fell sharply in the second quarter as Musk backlash and competition chipped away at company's dominance. Really, really, really? That's a headline. That's a real headline. Really? My gosh. Magical. Tesla reports 14% decline, marking second straight year-over-year drop. Wow. So let me pull these up. You might have seen them scroll by, but these are oh, oh. Okay. Love it. Love it. I mean, they already had the article written. They just needed to pop in the real numbers. They got the real numbers and looked at it and said, close enough. Publish. You say VW is doing a good job in Germany. Very cheap leasing contracts. Okay. Whatever it is. I mean, Tesla's numbers are only as high as they are because they had 0% and 1.99% financing on some models. Um, I don't know. It doesn't matter what the tactic is if it works. Story of Tesla's death is once again greatly exaggerated. And again, uh, these are, you know, dumb people. These are dumb people. These numbers don't matter. If this had come in much lower or much higher, it doesn't matter. This isn't the story moving forward. It's a fun story and I enjoy it, but it's not the story. I think we're going to wind this down because it's been almost an hour. And I mean, you tell me. Why don't I do a poll? Let's do a poll. Okay. The poll question is: go a bit longer. Yes. No. I mean, sure. Yes. No. Show results. I mean, it's not going to be very compelling because you're going to see the results. So let's see what you got for me. Okay. No model, no 2 model this year, though. Yeah. Is it time to buy more stock? Don't ask internet strangers because you don't know who they are. You don't know if their interests align with yours, and you don't know if they're being serious. And most importantly, they don't know. I love asking like real stock analysts. Yeah, I got to agree. Tesla needs a PR team for a number of reasons. They definitely need a PR team. Yeah, there are. I've talked with stock analysts and said, just out of curiosity, what do you invest in? And anyway, the professionals don't know. Internet people definitely don't. Going to buy my first Model 3 tested last week in California. Awesome. And I'm a Republican. Yeah, Republicans do buy the cars, not necessarily in as large of number as the Democrats who will no longer buy the cars. I have met some Republicans, but I know a lot of Democrats who have said, to hell with this. I'm out. I can't support this. Which is unfortunate. Yes, some great news. Was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting it either. Numbers were better than expected. Mhm. I've been seeing new Model Ys in Korea. I think the old version looks better. Still waiting for the Cybertruck. Apologies. It's very early here. I got up at like 4:30 to do this. So uh the Model Y, the looks of the Model Y are different. And I can see why someone might like the old one better or the new one better. A5L3T iOS. Yeah, that's of course, the name of the factory out there. It is Canon now. We've decided that uh, Giga Semi is called the iWest factory, the Giga iWest. So uh, let the Dems go buy a Chevy Bolt? No, they're not. They're buying other quality EVs that are nice. What they're missing out on is autonomy. 80 to 90% of buyers don't use FSD. For them, a Tesla is just a car. It's a good car, but it's just a car. So those 80 to 90% who don't want FSD or can't afford or will not pay the subscription for FSD, yeah, they're out. And they've got options. We can pretend they don't. We can pretend it's just the Bolt. But we're wrong. So is there any indication of the 3 sales? You mean the Model 3? Because they once again have not broken it out. I had a chat with my buddy Ed yesterday, who had a handful of questions, and one of them was, "Do you think they'll break out the models, or is it just going to say 3 and Y and other?" So it's just going to say other, and I don't know. Other manufacturers offer a degree of granularity that goes beyond that. So DRK has to head out. I think we got this under control. Thank you so much. If the mad spammers show up, we'll add one of you guys as a moderator uh, to keep it under control, unless I've got other moderators in here. I don't know if I do, but we'll figure it out. Thank you so much for your help. Do you find it hard to be funny and good looking? Who are you talking to? I had no idea. I find it very hard to be good looking. I used to be good looking, um, but got an update this morning, but it's just security fixes. I got one of those. I saw one of those come in only on the 2023. I thought that was interesting because they're both on hardware 4. Hmm. Says Tesla semi upside down. Yeah. Yep. Yep. It says, well, we say it says semi upside down. Maybe semi is iOS upside down. I mean, got to think about all the options. Remember, the moon is flat. Q3 will include new model deliveries, I guess. I hope so. I mean, shouldn't we? Good morning, Cuber. From Tennessee, something like that. It's a modern version of 58,008. Yeah. What Tesla do I have? So I have a 23 Model Y long range 7-seater. And my son just recently picked up a Model 3, a brand new Model 3 rear wheel drive. Um, and I helped him significantly with the down payment by allowing him to use the majority of my referral dollars towards the down payment, which allows me permission to take the vehicle on road trips so that I can get better range and efficiency. Because that Model 3 rear wheel drive, even at 85 miles an hour, we were still doing better than 250 watt hours per mile. So that is, and we never had to stop for the purpose of charging. We had to stop at chargers for the purpose of going to the bathroom. And then we never sat around waiting for charge. The only time we waited for a charge was the last day when we were leaving, because I just did not have time to charge the night before. And we didn't, and the direction we were going was into a charger wasteland where we wouldn't have been able to make it to our next destination. So we had to charge for probably 10, 15 minutes. Jeff Songster in the chat, he knows where I charged on Saturday morning because I sent him a picture. It was not the Atlantis. It was across from it where it was cheaper and faster. No Tesla. Yay, city bus. Uh, Look, I would love to live in a place that is where cars are not necessary. That'd be great. I see a lot of people on social media saying we need to get rid of cars. Wouldn't hey, great, self-driving car, very cool, robotaxi, super cool. You know what I want? I want a bus. I want a bus that comes every 10 minutes and takes me where I want to go. Right. That's called a robotaxi, my friend. What you want is a robotaxi. There are places where buses like that exist, where subways exist. You can go live there right now, but you don't. And I'll tell you why. Living in those places is really expensive. Convenience is expensive. So what you want is the world to be easier. You can't want the world to be easier. It doesn't work that way. Just wish that you were better. That you can fix. I have 4 kids under 8. Let's see. Let me see. No, we never had 4 kids under 8. We had 4 kids under 11. So the oldest was born in 99. The youngest was born in 10. So that's an 11-year span. But we did have 3 under 5 or 3 under 6, which was, oh, I feel your pain. City bus, 20 miles for $1. What country? What country? I haven't seen $1 bus fare in the US in 40 years, probably. But I don't know, maybe in some places. Uh, Still, and I don't know what bus fares are now, but yeah, in other countries, bus fares are off. Like in Mexico, I've taken the bus, and it is hilariously cheap. It's like 25 cents, 30 cents. I leave acceleration in chill. 18-year-old me would be disgusted. Yeah. City bus, but even better, EV trams and trains. Absolutely. Korean public transit is incredible. So, Jeff, the Mexico City has BYD buses. Um, a lot of them. Uh, they run the routes around the historic district so that the place the tourists are is a little cleaner and quieter. But they have other routes as well. Brian up early, cool guy. Too early, 4:30. Too early. Too early. Not happy about it because today's my big day. Wednesdays, I've got a lot of shooting to do. I will be back live at noon. I bet, probably. Yeah, 11. Back live at 11. Probably. Probably. Milwaukee reduced fare $1 for 1.5 hours. Insane o'clock. Unpleasant. Unpleasant. What stock increase has similar results produced in the past? Is CERN around? Yeah. Let's see what the stock is doing. Yeah. Just a nice little bump there from 302 to 317. That's fun. It's fun. Alrighty, guys. Well, I do think I have the yeses are slipping. Market opens in 6 minutes. Okay, you know what? We'll hang out for that. We'll hang out for that, see what the actual opening is. Energy growth reports strong. Appreciate your videos. Keep them up. Thank you. Brian at 11. Yeah, maybe. I should show it. Brian at 11. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. What did I miss? Recap. You got it. Recap. Numbers came in strong. 384, 122, compared with analyst estimates of almost exactly that, with Gary Black being the closest on this particular list, and myself and Tesla and James Cat being the farthest away, which is great. If I'm going to be wrong, that's the direction I'd like to be wrong in. So what are you going to do? The market is going to open in less than 5 minutes. We can make it for that. I'm looking forward to Grok. I'm cautiously optimistic. Here in the UK, the Model Y was unavailable until June, just the month of June, had a big effect on the quarter. I wonder what the rate is now. Enjoyed the Mexico videos. Oh, good. I would go back if there's a reason. I would go anywhere if there's a reason and I can afford it. I've had a number of requests that say, "Hey, please travel this incredibly long distance. We will do absolutely nothing to make it easy for you, and good luck. You coming?" And sometimes I just have to say, "No, no, I'm not coming. That's too big of an ask." Nice shirt, by the way. Yeah, for those who came in late and don't know, I'm wearing my Alan shirt. Alan in space. No one can hear you in space. So that's this was something I wanted for years, and my kids got it for me for Christmas because they get me. They get me. Yeah. So where we at? 626 and a half. Glad China worked out this year. Yeah. Thank you for your help, everybody, and to Jeff for making that possible. It was crazy to see the number of people saying, "Oh, yeah, but China paid for your trip." Really? Really? Clearly they didn't. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been so difficult. It wouldn't have been such a pain in the butt. I probably would have stayed somewhere a little nicer than the Fish Inn Motel, which wasn't bad, but I mean, guys, so mental, truly bonkers. So yeah, the China trip was, uh, I think, essential to forming a complete understanding of the EV market around the world. Uh, uh, yeah, a little bad trip makes a better trip when everything goes right. I could refute that. Will you go to space? Nah, nah. I wanted to when I was a kid. Nah. It would need to reach a level of safety and affordability that I don't see happening in my lifetime. Got another thumbs up from me. Love the Q&A. Always enjoy your trips to see manufacturing in other countries. Kyle Connor got it better in China. Yeah, Kyle did a fantastic job. I did have Kyle on the show before I went to China, and got some advice, some pointers, and all that. Kyle had ground support from some manufacturers. I got ground support from zero manufacturers. Not one of them was took the lifted the first fraction of a finger to help me, which is fine. And are we open yet? No, 2 more minutes. Uh, it was, yeah. And then still people, oh, well, okay, maybe you didn't get paid by the Chinese government, but you got paid by I got paid. Not one person in China paid me. Not one. Of course. Why would they? I had to pay for my own ticket to the Shanghai Auto Show. I didn't even get in on that because I said, well, just give me a press pass. They go, you don't have a press visa. Like, you could have told me I needed one 3 months ago when I could have applied for it. Well, why would you think you'd get a press pass if you don't have a press visa? Because I've been to other countries and that's not how it works. China. What are you going to do? China just didn't get your jokes. I met a guy named Fred. Fred got my jokes. Fred pulled me over on the street. I know you. You're that YouTube guy who makes electric car videos. I saw your video. I saw that you're here. Wow. Weird. Weird. Bad enough to fly these days, let alone space. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And what I'm afraid is if I went to space, customs wouldn't let me come back. Yeah. Stop the tweet war. Can't make him. Can't make him. He's it's not something we yep, market is open. Is the market open? Is it? It says it is. Let's find out. Which direction is it going? I'm gonna go ahead and end this poll. Am I doing something wrong? Do I need to hit refresh? Let me share this tab. What the heck? What am I doing wrong here, guys? There we go. Well, it's, I mean, very interesting. Up so far. Well, we'll let it run for a minute or two and get a better idea. My average buy uh, is finally over 200. We need to drop some more anyway. 309.37. Well, why am I not seeing it? There we go. But that's what a pretty chart. Dumb. So dumb. 311.14. Making sure. Yep. All right. Well, I think that's quite enough. Quite enough, one and all. So thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for making this a success. It's not too late to smack the thumb if you haven't already, yours or a friend's, because why wouldn't you? Everybody else, like, subscribe, do what you do. Stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots, in person. Who knows, man? Who knows?